In this video, we will be talking about User's Setup. Specifically, we will be talking about the User Information tab. In order to create a user ID, you need to be a master ID. Head on over to User Customization, User Setup, and Register User. Here, by pressing New, you can create as many IDs as you want for your employees. Furthermore, if you need to add more master IDs, head on over to Administrator Settings. By clicking New, you have to input the ID. By clicking FN Check, you can check for availability. You can fill in up to 30 characters. Secondly, you need to fill out the password. Now the level is determined by clicking the level guide here. So if you need to change the password level, you have to head on over to User Customization, Configuration, Security Setup, and click on Password Settings. Here you can change the level. Furthermore, once you have created the ID, you can log into that ID and then click on Modify Personal Information. Here you can change the password by yourself by clicking Change. Heading back to User Setup, by clicking New, and going over to the User Information tab, you can choose to connect employee and pick. Let me explain each one. The employee is used in the Manage menu for payroll and HR related inputs. If you have not created an employee already, you can press Create and enter the employee code here. Once you save the data, it will be created. If you would like, you can search it by using the magnifying glass and selecting the individual from here. Now, once you connect the employee, this notification will pop up. By clicking Cancel, the employee information will be reflected in the ID. The same is applied to pick. However, the difference is that the pick is used for inventory. So when you input a inventory slip, you can determine which pick was responsible for that slip. So if you would like, you can press the magnifying glass and select the pick here, or you can press Create and create a new pick. Simply save it for it to create the pick code. Furthermore, you can add the following information to your need and make sure to add the mobile and email correctly, as this will be used to recover the password when you forget them. If you would like, you can use the Use Recovery email separately to use a different email to recover your password. Furthermore, you can add a remarks for this particular ID and add a department. This is especially useful when you're creating or using groupware. By clicking the magnifying glass and selecting the department, you can easily send groupware posts via selected departments. You can also set up the work hours for each ID. By clicking Setup, you can add a working time that is unique to each user ID. If you do not need to use a work hour for each employee, head on over to Configuration, Function, Setup, and Manage. Here, you can set up the company working time. You can use this feature to check out the groupware work and clock in and out to check for tardiness per ID as well. Now, if you want to automate so that when you input the department information per ID, go on to personal function settings, set slip input, and you can set up a default pick and default department and other information as well. So when you're entering slips or vouchers, it will automatically be filled in for that ID. And going back, you can see the other informations that you can fill out, and you can see the language tab where you can choose the language of the program that the user is going to use. Furthermore, you can make the webmail ID by saving the ID first and going back, press change. You can add webmail here. Now, if you're using multiple ECOUNT codes, you can set up a multi-login. So press change, and you can add by pressing new. Once that's done, you can go to your profile icon and press the multi-login to quickly log into the different code. In order to do this, you have to go to the other code and head on over to configuration, security setup, and press multi-login in login management, and make sure to add the code for the other code. If you would like to add more information, head on over to the additional information tab and fill in the data. If you would like, you can use the ECOUNT web uploader feature to upload the IDs in batch. By clicking deactivate when you no longer need to use the ID, you're met with this notification. So if you choose next, the connected employee and pick will also be set to deactivated. If you do not want to do that, make sure to press disconnect. As you can see, this ID has been highlighted in red, indicating that it has been deactivated.